Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Startup Academy, your online gateway to get success in ISS exam. This academy is exclusively for ISS only. In the previous lecture, we discussed some of the PYQs or price elasticity of demand and supply elasticity of demand. In today's lecture, we'll discuss a new topic on in demand analysis, which is partial elasticity of demand and cross elasticity of demand. What are partial and cross elasticity of demand? Suppose we have two commodities, A1 and A2. If I have to measure the relative change in demand of A1 with respect to the relative change in price of A1 only, then it is known as partial elasticity of demand. But if I have to determine the relative change in demand of commodity A1 with respect to relative change in price of commodity A2, then it is known as cross elasticity of demand. Now we know that some of the uh, when we measure the demand of some commodity, suppose the commodity is X. If I am measuring the commodity demand of commodity X in the market, then it does not only depend on the price, it depends on the price of its complementary or its substitutory commodity as well. Suppose if we are talking about wheat and rice, wheat and rice suppose this is commodity 1 and this is commodity 2. So the demand of wheat not only depends on the price of wheat, the demand of wheat not only depends on the price of wheat, but it will also depend on the price of rice. So substitutory products are also affecting the price. That is why we are accommodating or we are calculating cross elasticity of demand. So this is our topic for today: price, cross elasticity and partial elasticity of demand. Partial elasticity of demand. Suppose we have two. Suppose we have two commodities, A1 and A2. In general, the formula for price elasticity, partial elasticity of demand is given by eta ii equals to minus pi upon xi, differentiation of xi with respect to differentiation of pi. This is known as the price elasticity, partial elasticity of demand, where I goes from one. Can take two values, one or two. One for A1, commodity A1, and two for commodity A2. Like if we are calculating partial elasticity of commodity A1, then it can be represented as eta 11 equals to minus P1 upon X1 delta X1 upon delta P1. This is for commodity A1. That means with how does the commodity demand of commodity A1 change with respect to its price? If we have to calculate for commodity A2, then it will be represented by eta 22, where the formula would be minus P2 upon X2 delta X2 upon delta P2. Now here this can also be written, this formula can also be written as minus delta of log minus log xi upon log pi. Here also it can be written as log of x1 upon log of p1, log of x2 upon log of p2. This was partial elasticity of demand. Now if we come to cross elasticity of demand. Suppose here also we have commodity B1 and B2 respectively. So having price P1, P2 and demand X1, X2 respectively. So cross elasticity of demand has the general formula as eta ij will give us minus pi pj upon xi into delta xi upon delta pj, which can also be written as minus of log of xi upon log of pj. This is the formula for eta ij, or the cross elasticity of demand of two commodities I and j, where I can take values 1, 2, also j can take values 1, 2, 1 or 2, but I is not equals to j. This is the formula for general formula for price cross elasticity of demand. If we calculate it for two commodities, suppose we are calculating it for B12, means the change that we see in the demand of commodity B with respect to the price change in commodity B2 is given as eta 12 equals to minus P2 upon P1 into delta x1 upon delta P2. It is x1, which means the relative change in demand of commodity B1 with respect to the relative change in price of commodity B2. If we have to calculate it B21, then relative change of demand in commodity B2 with respect to relative change of price in commodity B1. This can be written as minus P1 upon X2 into delta X2 upon delta P1. This is known as cross elasticity of demand. Now, if we have to find the relationship between these two commodities, if we are taking two commodities, relation between A1 and A2, or we can say commodities. If we are taking if we have to calculate delta x1 upon delta p2 and delta x2 upon delta p1, so we can say that we have three conclusions or three cases. Case 1, case 2 and case 3, and here we will be writing relation between A1 A2, मतलब relation between A1 and A2, two commodities. So if both of them are greater than 0, then the relationship becomes competitive. A1 and A2 are competitive commodities. If both of them are less than 0, then A1 and A2 are complementary commodities. And if they are equal to 0, both of them, then there is no conclusion drawn, or we don't know the relation between A1 and A2. Okay, so this can be asked in exam: what are complementary commodities? competitive commodities, and when can you say that there is no relation between commodities? You can just answer it by drawing this graph. Now, moving forward, let us solve a question which has been given, like we have been given a question in which we have been given the demand function as 300 minus 0.5 px square plus 0.02 p naught plus 0.05 y, where x is demand function, px is price at demand x, p naught is the constant price, and y is the constant income which has been given. And we have been asked to calculate three parts of this question: first, second, and third. First part is price elasticity of demand for commodity X. This is for, we are calculating for commodity X only. Next is income elasticity of demand for commodity X. Next is cross elasticity of demand for commodity S with respect to P naught. These three questions we have to find out. Now, first of all, for the first part, if we have to calculate price elasticity of demand, then we know that price elasticity of demand is represented by NP, which is nothing but minus P upon X, delta X upon delta P. Here P is Px. Now for this, first of all, we have to calculate the delta x and delta p. We have to differentiate the value of x with respect to px. Now if we differentiate the value of x with respect to px, we will be getting we can see that this equation of x, 300 is considered as a constant, minus 0.5 px raised to the power 2 can be taken. This is also a constant and this is also a constant. So here we can take minus 0.5 px raised to the power 2, where we get the answer as minus px if we differentiate this with respect to px. So our answer here, substituting the value, we will be getting minus px into minus px upon, the value of x will be 300 minus 0.5 px square plus 0.02 p naught plus 0.05 y. Now in the question it has also been stated that the value of px is given as 12, the value of p naught is given as 10, and the value of y is given as 100. Okay, so substituting these three values in this equation, this equation thus formed is minus plus px square upon 300 minus 0.5 px square plus 0.02 p naught plus 0.05 y. Substituting the value of px, p naught and y, we get the answer as 0.6045 as the price elasticity of the commodity, of the price elasticity of demand for commodity X. You can just put the values and get the answer. Now moving forward to the second part, we have to calculate now income elasticity of demand for commodity X. The second part, for income, here income is X, so we can take eta X. So the formula is minus the income here is given as y, is represented as y. So we can take it as minus y upon x. Now since we know that income is directly proportional to demand, more the income, more is the demand. So plus sign therefore is plus sign used, and delta x with delta y. Now again we have to differentiate delta x, but this time with respect to y. So if we take delta x with delta y, we see the value that contains y here is this one, 0.05. Rest other are treated as constant. So this would be 0.05 y delta y. We get the answer as 0.05. Now substituting the value here in eta y, we get y into 0.05 upon x. 300 minus 0.5 px square plus 0.02 p naught plus 0.05 y. Substituting the value of y, p naught and px square. Px is 12, p naught is 10 and y is 100. On substituting the value, we get the answer of this as 0.0420. This will be the answer for this. And hence we get the income elasticity of demand for our commodity X. Now we have done price elasticity for of demand for X, income elasticity of demand for X. Now the third part is cross elasticity of demand for X with respect to P naught. For the third part, we have just learnt about cross elasticity of demand. Now cross elasticity of demand of X with respect to P naught can be written as this, which is minus P naught upon X into delta X upon delta P naught. But here this will be taken as positive because we are depending on another factors, price. So this will be taken as positive. And also in one of the concepts, this will also be taken as positive. Cross elasticity is positive and partial elasticity is negative. So here it will be positive. Now differentiating x with respect to p naught here again. If we differentiate it with respect to p naught, we will have to differentiate the quantity which contains p naught. So this would be this quantity 0.02 p naught. Rest other are treated as constant. So we can take it as 0.02 p naught with respect to p naught, and we get the answer as 0.02. If we differentiate this, if we put the values here, eta x p naught equals to p naught into 0.02 upon x. X has the value as 300 minus 0.5 px square plus 0.02 p naught plus 0.05 y. Keeping the values of p naught here as 10, here also 10, 12 and y as 100. We get the value equal to 0.0008. This is the cross elasticity of demand for the commodity as X with respect to P naught. And this completes our answer. So I hope that whatever we have done today in the class has been clear with all of you. If not, then you can ask in the comment section or on our WhatsApp channel. Only relevant doubts will be answered. And keep on working hard. All the best. Thank you.